to the life you want to live. You can stop trying to be everything to everyone and start being true to yourself. There will always be demands on your time. There will always be someone who wants just a little bit more of you. But you have to decide where your boundaries are. You have to decide what you will and will not allow. This is not about being rude or unkind. It is about being wise. Because every minute you give away to something that does not matter is a minute you can never give to what does. It is a trade, and you have to make sure you are trading wisely. The beauty of protecting your time is that it gives you freedom. It gives you the space to breathe, to dream, to create. It gives you the chance to focus on what you love instead of what everyone else expects. And when you do that, you begin to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. You begin to find your own rhythm, your own pace. You begin to build something that is truly yours. So remember this: your time is your greatest asset. Treat it with the care and respect it deserves. Do not waste it on things that do not nourish your spirit. Do not let it be consumed by things that do not align with your purpose. Hold it close, guard it fiercely, and use it to build the life you have always dreamed of. Because in the end, it is not how much time you had that matters, it is how you spent. Boundaries are the shield of your time. They are the invisible lines that separate what belongs to you from what does not, what lifts you up from what weighs you down. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but doors that you open and close with intention. They are the quiet strength that protects your dreams and your energy from being consumed by things that do not align with your values. In a world that constantly demands more, learning to set and hold your boundaries is the most courageous thing you can do. It can feel uncomfortable at first. You might worry that you will disappoint others, that you will be seen as cold or selfish. But boundaries are not about being cold, they are about being clear. They are a declaration of what matters most to you and what you will not compromise on. They are a way of saying to the world, my time and energy are precious, and I choose to spend them on what brings me joy and growth. Boundaries are a way of honoring yourself and the life you want to build. There is a quiet power in saying, this is enough. It is the power to stand up for your own needs without apology. It is the power to say no when something does not serve you, even if it means disappointing someone else. It is the power to walk away from situations that drain you, to choose what fills your spirit instead. Boundaries give you the freedom to show up as your best self, because you are no longer being pulled in 1,000 different directions. Creating boundaries is not about shutting out the world. It is about choosing how you want to engage with it. It is about creating a space where you can thrive instead of just survive. When you honor your boundaries, you honor your health, your peace of mind, your creativity. You create a life that is not built on other people's demands, but on your own deepest truth. But here is the thing, boundaries do not set themselves. You have to be willing to speak up, to draw the line, to make the hard choices. It can feel scary, especially if you have spent a long time putting everyone else first. But with practice, it gets easier. You learn that saying no is not rejection, it is redirection. It is the way you protect what matters most. Think of your boundaries as the guardrails on a winding mountain road. They do not stop you from moving forward. They keep you from veering off the cliff. They keep you on the path that leads to the life you want. And just like those guardrails, your boundaries need to be checked and maintained. They are not set and forget. They are alive and shifting as you grow. You have to check in with yourself to make sure your boundaries still serve you, to make sure they are still in line with who you are becoming. It can be tempting to blur the lines, to say yes when you mean no, to stretch yourself too thin. But every time you do, you are teaching others how to treat you. You are teaching them that your time and energy are not worth protecting. So be firm, be kind, but be clear. Let your boundaries be your shield, your anchor, your guide. And remember, your boundaries are not about anyone else. They are about you. They are about creating a life that feels good on the inside, not just looks good on the outside. They are about giving yourself the space to grow into the person you are meant to be. So trust yourself. Trust that you are allowed to have boundaries. Trust that you deserve them. And trust that the people who truly respect you will honor them too. Because when you stand firm in your boundaries, you create a life that is grounded in respect, in clarity, and in peace. Learn to say no without guilt. This is one of the most powerful skills you can ever master, yet it is one of the hardest. We are taught from a young age to be agreeable, to accommodate others, to avoid rocking the boat. We carry this idea that if we say no, we are being selfish or rude. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that does not align with your values, you are saying no to something that does. Every time you agree to something that drains your energy or distracts you from your goals, you are giving away a piece of your life that you will never get back. Saying no is not about rejecting people or turning your back on the world. It is about honoring your time, your dreams, and your purpose. It is about creating space in your life for the things that truly matter. Because if you do not learn to say no, you will find yourself pulled in 1,000 different directions. Your focus scattered, your heart exhausted. You will lose yourself in the noise of other people's expectations. And you will wake up one day, wondering where your life went. We have been conditioned to think that saying no is a sign of weakness or indifference. But in reality, it is a sign of strength. It is a sign that you respect yourself enough to guard your time and energy. It is a sign that you are clear about what matters to you and you are willing to stand up for it. This is not always easy. People will not always understand. They may try to guilt you into changing your mind, to convince you that you owe them your time. But you do not. Your time is yours. It is the most valuable thing you have, and you have the right to choose how to spend it. When you learn to say no, you begin to reclaim your power. You begin to live on your own terms. You begin to realize that you do not have to be available to everyone all the time. You do not have to please everyone or meet every demand that comes your way. You can choose where your energy goes. You can choose what deserves your attention and what does not. And that choice is where freedom begins. There is a beautiful simplicity in saying no. It strips away the clutter and reveals what is essential. It gives you the space to focus on the things that fill you with purpose and joy. It frees you from the endless cycle of doing things just to keep others happy. It allows you to show up fully for the things that matter to you instead of showing up half-heartedly for things that do not. Of course, this is easier said than done. It takes practice and courage. It takes a willingness to face the discomfort of disappointing others, of letting go of the need for constant approval. But every time you say no when you need to, you get a little stronger. You get a little closer to living the life that is meant for you, not the life that someone else wants you to live. And here is the most important part. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your no. You do not have to justify or apologize. A simple no is enough. It is a complete sentence, and it is a declaration that your time and your dreams matter. So give yourself permission to use that word. Let it be your shield, your compass, your boundary. Let it protect the things that matter most to you. Let it guide you towards a life that is not just full, but fulfilling. Because at the end of the day, saying no to what does not matter is the only way to say yes to what. Prioritize what truly matters. In this fast-paced world, it is so easy to get caught up in the endless list of tasks, the constant notifications, the urgent demands that never seem to stop. We feel like we must do it all, that if we are not busy every moment, we are falling behind. But the truth is, not everything that asks for your attention deserves it. You need to step back and ask yourself, what really matters? What truly lights up your soul? What makes you feel alive and fulfilled? Those are the things you must guard with your time and energy. Those are the things you must elevate above the noise. It is a simple truth that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we choose to spend them is what shapes our lives. If you spend your time chasing things that do not matter to you, you will find yourself feeling empty and disconnected. You will be busy, but not fulfilled. You will be surrounded by tasks and yet feel like you are missing something essential. That is why it is so important to prioritize what matters most. It is about getting clear on what you want and giving yourself permission to focus on it, even if it means letting go of things that used to seem important. This is not about ignoring responsibilities or neglecting the people you love. It is about recognizing that your time and energy are limited and that you must use them wisely. It is about being honest with yourself about what brings you joy and meaning, and giving those things the space they deserve. When you prioritize what matters, you bring a sense of purpose and direction to your day. You stop feeling like you are running on a hamster wheel, and you start feeling like you are moving towards something that truly matters to you. But prioritizing is not always easy. We are bombarded with messages telling us what we should want, what we should care about. We are told that success looks a certain way, that happiness is found in the approval of others. But you cannot let those voices drown out your own. You have to trust yourself. You have to be willing to turn down the noise and listen to your own heart. What matters to you may not be what matters to someone else, and that is okay. You do not need to justify your dreams or your values. You just need to honor them. One of the most powerful things you can do is to take a step back and really look at how you are spending your time. Are you filling your days with things that move you closer to your goals? Or are you letting them slip away on things that do not matter? It is a question that can be uncomfortable to face, because it forces you to confront the ways you might be wasting your own precious life. But it is also the question that can set you free. It can help you break the cycle of mindless busyness and start living with intention. When you prioritize what truly matters, you create a life that is aligned with who you are. You create a life that feels meaningful and whole. You learn to let go of the things that weigh you down and embrace the things that lift you up. And in doing so, you become more present, more focused, more alive. You start to see your days not as a blur of tasks, but as opportunities to grow, to connect, to create something beautiful. This is the power of prioritizing what truly matters. It is not about perfection or having all the answers. It is about choosing every day to focus on what makes your life rich and vibrant. It is about giving yourself permission to follow your own path, even if it looks different from everyone else's. It is about trusting that when you focus on what matters most, everything else will fall into place. Protecting time is protecting peace. In a world that is always rushing, always shouting, always demanding, your time is the quiet place where your soul finds rest. It is the gentle space where your thoughts can breathe, where your heart can beat slowly and steadily, away from the chaos of the world. When you protect your time, you create a sanctuary for yourself, a place where you can hear your own voice again, a place where you can remember what truly matters to you. This is not just about keeping a schedule or crossing things off a list. It is about honoring the deep need we all have for stillness and reflection. Peace does not come from having an empty calendar or a life free of responsibilities. It comes from choosing every day to give your time to the things that fill you up instead of the things that wear you down. It is the choice to step back from the noise and the endless demands, to carve out moments of quiet where you can feel your own breath and remember who you are beneath all the labels and expectations. Protecting time is an act of love, a way of saying to yourself, you matter, your dreams matter, your well-being matters. We have been taught to see time as something to be managed and controlled, a resource to be optimized and stressed. But time is not a machine, it is a living thing, woven from the hours and the minutes that make up your life. It is sacred because it cannot be replaced or reclaimed once it is gone. And so, to protect your time is to protect the very essence of who you are. It is to stand guard over the moments that give your life meaning, to refuse to let them be consumed by things that do not matter. This does not mean you have to retreat from the world or live in isolation. It means you learn to say no when you need to create boundaries that keep the noise at bay, to honor the quiet spaces where you can rest and recharge. It means you learn to trust that you are allowed to step back, to slow down, to take time for yourself, even when the world tells you to keep moving. Because when you do, you give yourself the chance to show up in the world as your best self, whole and steady and strong. Peace is not something you find by accident. It is something you create on purpose. It is in the small choices you make every day, to turn off your phone, to take a walk without the constant chatter of notifications, to sit quietly with a cup of tea and just breathe. It is in the way you choose to spend your mornings, your afternoons, your evenings. It is in the way you protect the moments that matter, the people who lift you up, the dreams that call to you from deep inside. When you protect your time, you are not just guarding your hours, you are guarding your peace of mind. You are creating a life that is not dictated by other people's urgency but by your own sense of purpose and calm. You are choosing to build a life that is rooted in what is real and lasting, not in the fleeting rush of everything that clamors for your attention. And in that choice, you find a deeper kind of freedom. You find that you do not have to be everything to everyone. You find that you are allowed to be here now, fully present and fully alive. You find that you can let go of the need to prove yourself and simply. Protecting your time is an invitation to step into the stillness of your own heart, to find the rhythm of your own breath, to trust that peace is not something you have to chase or earn. It is something you can create right here in this moment by choosing to give yourself the gift of time. Remove distractions to regain control. In a world that never stops talking, where every screen buzzes with updates and every moment is filled with noise, it is so easy to lose ourselves. We think we are connected, but really, we are drifting away from the things that truly matter. Our attention is being pulled in 100 different directions, and we find ourselves exhausted at the end of the day, not knowing where our time went. Distractions are thieves of the soul. They sneak in quietly, stealing your focus, your energy, and your dreams. But you have the power to stop them. You have the power to take back your attention and your life. Removing distractions is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It is about creating space for what is essential. It is about making a conscious choice to focus on what fills you up instead of what drains you. It means setting boundaries with technology, with people, with all the little things that demand your time but offer nothing in return. It is about turning off the noise so you can hear your own thoughts again, because in the quiet, you find clarity. In the quiet, you find the strength to build the life you want. There is a myth that we can multitask our way to greatness, that we can juggle a dozen things and still be excellent at all of them. But the truth is, multitasking is a lie. It leaves us scattered and unfocused, our minds jumping from one thing to the next like a skipping stone on water. Real progress comes from deep focus, from giving your full attention to one thing at a time. When you remove distractions, you give yourself the gift of presence. You give yourself the chance to do your best work. to live your best life. This is not always easy. The world is full of temptations that promise a quick hit of pleasure. Social media, endless scrolling, constant notifications, they are designed to hook you, to keep you coming back for more. But these things are not nourishing. They are empty calories for the mind. They leave you feeling full for a moment, but hollow inside. You have to be brave enough to turn them off. You have to be strong enough to walk away. Start small. Turn off the notifications that do not serve you. Put your phone in another room when you need to focus. Create a space that is free from clutter, both physical and mental. Give yourself permission to be unavailable to the world, so that you can be available to yourself. Because when you do, you will find that you have more time, more energy, more joy. You will find that you are not as busy as you thought. You are just distracted. Removing distractions is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your time and attention are valuable, that you will not waste them on things that do not matter. It is a way of taking back control of your life, one moment at a time. And in that control, you find freedom. You find the space to breathe, to create, to grow. There will always be things trying to pull you away from what matters. But you get to decide what you let in and what you keep out. You get to decide what is worthy of your focus and what is not. This is your life, and you have the right to protect it from the noise. So be intentional, be deliberate, be fierce in guarding your attention, because it is the most powerful tool you have. Use it to build something beautiful, something true, something that matters to you. Because in the end, the quality of your life is the quality of your focus. And when you focus on what truly matters, everything else fades away. Use your time to nourish your growth. Every minute you spend is like a seed you plant in the soil of your life. Some seeds will grow into tall, strong trees that shelter your dreams and provide fruit for your soul. Others will wither away, leaving you with nothing but regret and emptiness. That is why you must be careful, deliberate and wise about where you invest your time. You have to be the gardener of your own future, choosing what you want to cultivate and what you want to leave behind. Growth is not just about getting ahead in life or achieving something impressive for others to see. Growth is about becoming more of who you truly are, peeling back the layers of doubt and fear until you stand in your own light. It is about learning to trust yourself, to follow the quiet voice inside that tells you what you need to thrive. It is about challenging yourself to stretch beyond what you thought possible, to keep reaching even when it is hard, even when you are tired. Because every time you choose to invest in your own growth, you are choosing to honor your own worth. Using your time to nourish your growth is not about filling every hour with hustle. It is about being intentional. It is about asking yourself, what do I want to learn today? How do I want to be better tomorrow? What am I curious about? And how can I explore it? Growth happens in the moments when you step outside your comfort zone and into the unknown, trusting that you have what it takes to figure it out. It happens when you read the books that stretch your mind, have the conversations that challenge your thinking, and do the work that makes your heart race with excitement. There will be days when you feel like you are not making any progress at all, when it seems like you are standing still while everyone else is racing ahead. But growth does not always show up in big, dramatic ways. Sometimes it is quiet and gentle, like a seed slowly unfurling its roots deep in the dark earth. Sometimes it is in the small choices you make every day, to show up for yourself, to keep going even when it is hard, to believe that you are worth the effort. In nourishing your growth also means giving yourself permission to rest. It means recognizing that growth is not just about doing more, it is about becoming more whole. It is about taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. It is about knowing that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that rest is not a luxury but a necessity. When you give yourself space to breathe, you give yourself the strength to keep growing. And as you grow, you will find that the things that once seemed so important begin to fall away. You will see that the opinions of others matter less than your own sense of purpose. You will find that the more you invest in your own growth, the more you have to give to the world. Because when you are filled up, when you are living in alignment with your deepest values, you become a force for good in everything you do. So use your time to feed your curiosity, to build your skills, to connect with people who inspire you. Use it to dream bigger, to dig deeper, to keep moving forward even when you are not sure where the path will lead. Because every step you take in the direction of your growth is a step towards a life that feels real and right. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep showing up for the person you are becoming. Your life's masterpiece needs your undivided attention. Think of your life as a canvas waiting for you to paint it with bold colors and gentle brushstrokes, each moment a chance to add depth and texture. But if you are always looking over your shoulder, always trying to juggle a dozen things at once, that canvas will never be more than a blur of half-finished strokes. When you give your attention to everything, you give it fully to nothing, and your masterpiece remains unfinished, waiting for you to be present enough to bring it to life. We live in a world that celebrates multitasking and constant activity. We are taught to believe that we must always be on, always moving, always doing. But real creation, real beauty, comes from focus. It comes from giving your energy and your heart to one thing at a time, letting it take shape in the quiet spaces where your soul can breathe. When you focus your attention, you bring your vision into sharper relief, and what was once a vague outline becomes something real and true. Giving your undivided attention is not easy. It means learning to turn down the noise, to say no to the things that pull you away from your purpose. It means being willing to stand still in a world that tells you to keep moving. It means recognizing that the work you are called to do, the life you are meant to live, cannot be built in the scraps of time left over from everything else. It needs your best self, your full self, your present. Distractions will always be there. There will always be another email to answer, another message to reply to, another task to tick off the list. But if you spend your life trying to keep up with everything, you will never get to the things that matter most. You have to decide what deserves your attention and what does not. You have to decide what is worth the quiet focus of your mind and the steady beat of your heart. Your life's masterpiece is not something you can rush. It is not something you can create in between the constant interruptions and the endless noise. It is something that asks you to slow down, to listen to your own voice, to trust that the things that truly matter will not happen in the rush, but in the stillness. It is in those moments when you give yourself fully to what you love that you begin to see the outlines of your masterpiece take shape. Focus is not just about productivity. It is about connection. It is about feeling the weight of each moment, the richness of each experience. It is about letting yourself be fully present, fully alive, so that the work you do and the life you live are infused with meaning and intention. It is about realizing that the most beautiful things in life cannot be forced or hurried. They need your patience, your faith, and your unwavering focus. And as you give your attention to what matters, you will find that your life begins to take on a new kind of beauty. You will see that the small moments are not small at all. They are the building blocks of something larger and more lasting. You will see that the distractions that once seemed so urgent begin to lose their power, and what remains is the quiet, steady pulse of a life well lived. Your masterpiece is waiting for you. It is not in the future or the past. It is in the choices you make right now, in the way you show up for yourself and your dreams. It is in the courage to turn away from the noise and to listen to the still, small voice inside that tells you what matters most. It is in the simple, everyday moments when you choose to be fully present, fully engaged, fully alive. Because in the end, the only way to create something beautiful is to give it the best of who you are.